first word is debacle.
Debacle.
Debacle is usually used synonymously with fiasco to mean a complete failure. It can also refer to a great disaster, though typically not one that causes significant suffering or loss. After the debacle of his first novel, he had trouble getting a publisher for his next book. The state has made a great deal of progress in recovering from the economic debacle. A quote by Caitlin Tiffany of The Atlantic on November 21st, 2023 states, "Earlier this year, on an Amtrak train from Northern Virginia to Stanford, Florida, passengers repeatedly called the police during the train's 20-hour delay. For those of you that are calling the police, the conductor had to announce, 'We are not holding you hostage.' The debacle was caused by a freight train ahead of them, which had crashed into an empty car parked on the tracks in rural South Carolina. Nothing you can do about that. A train was just to wait until whatever is in front of it is gone." If you need an icebreaker in some social setting, why not recount the history of debacle? After all, when it was first used in English, debacle referred to the literal breaking up of ice, such as the kind that occurs in a river after a long, cold winter, as well as the rush of ice or water that follows such an event. Eventually, it was also used to mean a violent, destructive flood. If that's not enough to make some fast friends, you could lose the fact that debacle comes from the French noun debacle, which in turn comes from the verb debacular, meaning to clear, unbolt, or unbar. You might then add to your listeners' graceful appreciation that these uses led naturally to such meanings as breaking up, collapse, and finally the familiar disaster and fiasco. We can feel the silence thawing already.